from the show over there too. Yeah.
Is that your Stranger Things, I guess, cave?
Yes.
Stranger Cave.
Yes, because Travis said we couldn't keep it in the bedroom anymore.
Yeah, I can't be trying to do my thing and then I got to look up and look at 11 and Mike and 11, especially the bald head 11. Like, they ain't even hot in the streets. Now, none of them are hot because they're all underage. Let me make sure I make that clear. None of them are hot because they're all underage. But
no, not all of them. Caleb's 19 now.
Well, I'm talking about when the area of where you got these photos and stuff at, like, they were younger. Yeah. So,
well, Caleb was actually 18 at the time. The one in the orange. The black kid.
And where did y'all meet and take these pics?
Nashville and Dallas, and then we have another one in Chicago.
No, she really just stalked them and then ran up to their homes and was like, "I only leave unless you give me this photo." And they were like, "Damn it!"
Hey there, little kids.
Hit him with the sneak selfie, like, got you.
Y'all cut this grass?
No, there's some crazy fans out there.
Oh, I can believe it.
That will actually do that.
Oh, I can believe it. I'm not surprised at all by these same people.
All day.
All right, well, let's welcome into the No Name Nonsense podcast. Mama Steve is eating from her snack jar. Stranger Things, Halloween themed, airhead status. I see you out here. You know, my youngest daughter got airheads and was like, "Oh, my head is not getting big." I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "In a commercial, my head, their heads gets big." I said, "Nah, baby, it don't work like that." And the fact that you wanted to get some candy to make your head big is disturbing nonetheless. So
I do have an airhead story from another day.
Sure.
For another day. Okay, so when I was we could talk about it. When I was in college, so I love airheads. When I was in college, I used to buy like the mini airheads, and they would come with the blue ones, the red ones, and the green ones, and I love the green ones. Well, the bag that I bought one day didn't come with any of the green ones in it. It was all red and blue. And I got so upset and I started crying because I had a really bad week at school. So I called the phone number on the back of the bag. And I, was crying to the representative like, I was looking forward to these green airheads. A week later, they sent me a giant box of nothing but green airheads.
Megan, in the streets, we would call that white privilege, baby. I'm joking. You know what? Call it what you want. I was a happy camper that day. So no, that's a shout out to Airheads, man. That's dope. Like that. I mean, that's a great story. I mean, hopefully they want to sponsor us because we're talking about how great of a human beings they are and how well they did in their customer service. We would love to sponsor Airheads and we see if my daughter can eat enough Airheads to make her head get big. So
I love Airheads, and this was back in 2006. So I've been eating Airheads since I was like 4. So
what was your favorite flavor? The green one?
The green ones.
Okay.
So, Airheads, if you're listening, green ones are fly.
I think mine is the blue raspberry, the blue joint.
Yeah, blue raspberry. Yeah.
I tried an orange one the other day because it was in my daughter's like pale. That shit was trash, man.
Yeah, I don't even think I've ever had all.
I just all-star endorsement right there.
I thought the orange ones got discontinued, bro.
No, they're not discontinued.
They still out there?
Yeah. They running around with the candy corn, bro.
No, they're not discontinued, but I have a theory that's what their mystery flavor is the orange ones, because people don't buy the orange ones, so that's what they put as their mystery.
Hell no. Matter of fact, let's go top 3 Halloween candies and we'll do bottom three. So my top 3, I'm gonna go my number 1 Halloween candy is a Babe Ruth. I know people gonna give me shit for that but I love a Babe Ruth. I love a Babe Ruth.
Do you not have a soul? Ew.
No, great, no.
You might as well eat a Zero bar.
My number 2 is Reese peanut butter cups. That's my number 2.
Oh yeah.
And then my number 3 actually coming in on the slide. Either I'm gonna go a slash here, either Swedish Fish or any gummy bears.
I like
those are my 3 Halloween candies. What about you, Mama Steve? Top 3.
Well, Airheads, obviously. Any Dove chocolate, the little Dove chocolate.
Where are you going trick or treating at?
I know, right?
You giving up that Dove? What?
I can be fancy.
That's that bougie candy there.
I know. I can be fancy.
You eating good.
Mm-hmm. And then my 3rd, I would have to say, this is a tough one. I think it's a toss-up between Sweet Tarts or like Blow Pops. Because I really like the blue raz blow pops.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're delicious.
I'm gonna figure tunes. You're not gonna be on here to talk about some blow pops. So
Nah,
let's go top 3. What you got?
I'm good on the blow pop, man. Top 3. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Reese's number 3.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go with the infamous Twix bar. The Halloween edition at number 2, and numero uno. Damn, I think I'm gonna go all top. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go all top. No, I'm gonna flip that. That. Let's go number 2, Sour Patch.
Okay.
Yeah, them Sour Patch, the mini Halloween Sour Patch Kids, and then number 1, I'll go with the Twix.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the.
Actually, let me modify because I thought about a huge one that I eat. As you said it, I thought I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock mine down. I'm gonna eliminate the Swedish Fish or gummy bears. I'm gonna throw Nerds right there. Like, I'm a fucking nerd fanatics. Like, I will fucking just pound, especially the little small boxes. Man, I throw 3 in my mouth at one time, bro.
Take them to the head, bro. Take them to the head.
All right, top or at least 3. So I'm gonna go my 3rd least favorite Halloween candy. I will admit I'm not a huge solo chocolate guy. Like, I don't like solo just chocolate by itself. So if it's not a Hershey regular chocolate bar, any other just off-brand solo chocolate that's not Hershey, you're slotted number 3. Like, I just can't. I don't know what it is about just pure chocolate I'm not down with. Number 2, I'm probably going to say I used to love it growing up, but now I'm not a fan as much anymore. And that will probably be it's the candies where, like, what is it? It's where it's not now latest. I love now latest. It's the Starburst.
Laffy Taffy?
Starburst. Starburst. I'm not a huge Starburst guy anymore. Like, when I eat it, I'm just like, I guess it makes me just want a now later at that point. Like, I'd rather just have a now later. So, and then number 1 obviously is candy corn. Like, I can't rock with no candy corn. I'm out of the box on that one.
Forget about it.
What you got, Mama Steve?
Well, candy corn, obviously. And then the Almond Joy and Mounds. I really hate those. I don't like. Okay, so Mounds, Almond Joy, Zero, Baby Roots, any of those candy bars. Yeah, they still sell Zero.
Zero gives me the chills, bro. I don't even. I can't do it. I just can't.
I was at the grocery store the other day, and I look over in the candy aisle, and they still sell Zero bars, and I'm like, who eats Zero bar? Oh, ugh. Anyway, any of those types of bars, like chocolate with like nuts and like coconut and whatever, I can't. Like, caramel is fine, but anything else is just bleh.
And so then, you don't like a Snickers? You don't like Snickers?
No, I don't.
What?
I don't know. Okay, because here's the thing.
You, Mama Steve.
It's not that I what like I choose not to. It's just certain like nut products kind of upset my stomach, so I can't really have a lot of peanut, like cornucopious amounts of nuts, or in citrus. I can't really have a lot of orange juice, so stuff like that like upsets my intestinal tract. Yes, I'm old. And okay, now and laters. I hate now and laters, and there's a story behind that too. I used to eat them a lot as a kid. Like, back in middle school, you could have now and laters or those Mamba things, but I was at the fair with my parents back in 7th grade, and I was eating a now and later, and it cracked one of my molars in the back of my mouth, and it cracked it so bad that I'm literally over a trash can spitting up blood and pieces of my tooth. I was 12, and ever since then I cannot have like hard candy like that. I get like nightmares and like visions and horrible flashbacks of that one night at the fair where I'm literally over an overfilled, disgusting trash can, spitting out all this blood and pieces of my tooth.
Oh my God.
Because
I'm surprised that didn't make your number 1. Shit.
That is my number 1.
Oh, okay. I thought candy corn was your number 1.
No, candy corn. I can eat it. I can tolerate it, but now and laters or any type of like candy that I have to like bite down and it's like really hard, just gives me like horrible flashbacks of that night at the state fair. I used to eat a lot of jawbreakers as a kid. Like I loved hard candy, but then that moment happened and I can't have like hard candy anymore without fearing that I'm going to break one of my teeth, you know?
So how do you feel about Jolly Ranchers?
I'm a little skeptical about it. Because again, I feel like I'm going to break a tooth. Like lollipops are fine because you suck on them until they get smaller.
Same thing with a rancher though, right?
I don't trust a free-flowing, you know, hard piece of candy in my mouth where it's not on a stick where I have control.
Complete control. Okay,
yeah, exactly. I have to hold it. I can't, like, I know this sounds really weird.
Mama Steve, just for our other audience, can you get some water and slurp some water for us right now?
Okay, hold on.
You know, after talking about holding sticks and getting smaller, I feel like this is just right in that realm. That
hold on.
That other audience if we need it. So.
I'm gonna need silence for this real quick. Hold on.
Get that water. Get that water in your Mama Steve.
I got makeup on my microphone. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. For our audience that loves the slurping of water and
hello, my ASMR audience.
Okay.
It is I, Mama Steve.
Oh wow.
You were just listening to me. You were just listening to me slurp English breakfast tea at a 45-degree angle at 110 degrees.
Oh man.
Only place you can get that is here.
We getting X-rated, boy, this morning.
DJ Tunes, your top 3 least favorite Halloween candies.
Top 3, I'm gonna have to go with number 3. Let's go with the sweet tart. Unfortunately, sweet tarts gotta come out of the Halloween basket.
Wow.
Tunesy, I thought we were friends.
Get that out of here. I'm giving that thing to Heisman. You know what I mean? None of that. And then number 2, let's go with a Tootsie Roll. Can't stand a Tootsie Roll. I'm sorry. I'm out. Totally out on the Tootsie Rolls. I'll keep that too. And number 1, the infamous candy corn.
Oof.
No bueno. I haven't liked candy corn since I was 4.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a crayon that's melted into corn.
Pretty much.
That's all it is.
Pretty much. Tastes like a cube of sugar.
Yeah, so after we detoured on some Halloween candy, let's talk about really quickly part 2, the sequel. And not the sequel everybody's think we're talking about. We're going to talk about that sequel later. We're talking about the presidential debate, part 2. Mama Steve, I'm going to let you go ahead and get loose because I know you got a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, a lot of urges. Besides blow pops and slurping water, we want to see what you think about the presidential debate with 2 old fogies. What you got on that?
Technically, it's tea because I
yes.
need my caffeine fix and I can't go to Starbucks this morning. So, well, okay. A couple of things was, one, I really like how it was a lot more calm. There was a lot more calm, and I think Kristen Welker did a fantastic job moderating it. She kept her composure, and she was just like, gentlemen, let's get back to whatever it is we need to get back to. As far as aesthetic purposes, because you know how much I love aesthetics. Mm-hmm. Whoever is Trump's makeup artist needs to really tone down on the bronzer. I'm sorry. We're not in Cancun. The president does not need that much bronzer. Okay, lighten it up a bit. Use some highlighter. Use some, there's a pressed powder it's a white pressed powder that you could actually, if you've tanned too much, and I used to do this a lot in college, if you've gotten too much bronze in your tanner, you could actually go over and like kind of buff out as much of the bronze as possible, and it kind of looks like a nice like natural tan instead of like an orange Oompa Loompa tan. So
you know what? I'm gonna be real because I don't think nobody really cares about the president's debate. Let's talk about white people and tanning. Like I want to talk about that because I find it the most fascinating thing ever that white people are like, oh, I need to get darker. Oh, I need to get darker. But then like, I don't want to date no dark brother. I won't date no dark sister. Okay. I don't want to be doctor. So please explain to the black audience, what is white people's obsession with tanning?
Okay, so I used to tan a lot in college, and I will say I totally regret it now. Okay. Okay, but and I'm pale. Okay, you all see it. I'm milky white. I'm pale. But like back then, like the 2000s, like getting like crispy looking was like the thing. I don't know who said it was like a thing, but it's like you had to be tan because apparently it made you look skinnier. That was what I heard in college, was if you tan. And there was actually a sign at the tanning bed that said this. It's like, did you know that tanning makes you look 10 pounds lighter? Yeah, and there were also signs in the tanning bed that said that it helps with SAD, which is like seasonal affectionate disorder or something like that, where you get like depressed during the seasons because of the winter months or whatever, and you can tan and just kind of be all happy again. And then a lot of girls were saying that it helped with menstrual cramps because it was like a giant heating pad or something. So there were like many different reasons why girls would tan, but honestly, it was more for like looks. So of course I would tan. I would get in these like giant ass tanning beds. There was actually a tanning bed that I used to get in called the Matrix, where the lights would actually move back and forth, and there was like a full-blown air conditioner in the tanning bed, and it had like a surround sound HD like sound speaker where you could like blast the music, and like if you're sitting in the waiting room, you could hear the speakers that I was listening to. It had like the bass and everything, so it was like a giant car basically.
Wow.
And so it was literally like the most ultimate thing, because you felt like that you were on top of the world and like a celebrity because you tanned in the Matrix, you know.
So
but
did you tan butt ass, or did you wear like the bikini to tan?
I wore my underwear because my grandmother used to say, "Don't cook your cookies," and I'm serious. You know, she was like, "Don't cook your cookies." And I was adamant not to do that. And then, of course, I had a towel to cover my face because I got burnt one time on my face. And my mom said that my face looked like a leather couch. So I started like putting a towel over my face while I was tanning, because you can come back with bronzer. So it was like when I didn't wear makeup, I would have like a white face, but like from the neck down, I would be like toasty. Yeah. And that was like a thing. So now I'm starting to see the effects of it. That was back in like 2004 to like 2008. So now I don't know. I have little sunspots. Like here's one right here, if you can see it. It's growing, and then I have 2 moles on my toe that just get bigger and bigger and bigger over time. And then now I look at my stomach and I have all these like spots and freckles on it. So of course that's from tanning. Yeah. So now I'm constantly worried that I'm gonna have like, okay, so this mole right here didn't look like that. So this was like a freckle, but now I don't know if you can see it. The outside of it is uneven, and it's like growing. And I'm trying to find one. I had one. I don't know if I could show you on camera. But
well, and it's like, I guess for me, because I went to a white school that in the North, so tanning was like a thing. Chicks would come out looking like they came from Florida, but they ain't been in Pennsylvania the whole time. And so for Black folks, we just think it's like, oh, look at white people trying to get as close to black as possible without having to be black. And that's what we always looked at tanning to be like. That's why when you said, oh, because we're losing weight and it's stuff this, and I'm thinking, all this time we just be like, man, like y'all love to look close to us, but don't want to be us.
My Black best friend in college pulled the most ultimate prank when I went to the tanning bed one night, because he wanted to see what the girl would say. He goes in there with me and I'm tanning, and he goes to the girl and he's like, "I'd like to sign up for a membership." And the girl just looked at him like, "At what?" He's like, "Yes, I'd like to tan here."
You should just gave him the application. So I brought my wife in because I figured this topic is something that my wife could weigh in on. So Jessica, we are talking about white people and tanning, and why do white people tan? So Mama Steve has filled us in to say that some of it's about, they evidently are going to make people lose about 10 pounds or something like that. And I think the other one she said was that I guess it's
10 pounds, but look 10 pounds lighter.
Oh yeah, look 10 pounds lighter, and it helps with some kind of sun depravity that you guys get depressed when you don't get the sun or something. So I figured I would let you weigh in because, as being a white American, and I remember when I first met you, you were all about tanning, and I used to say, well, why are you tanning? It just turns you red. But you were all about it. So
hold up. I never
She's about to come in here. We got a whole bunch of weird setups, so she's.
Jess, we can compare tanning stories because I've got plenty. While she's sitting down, I can talk about how tanning actually sent me to the emergency room.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
I'm upset on that one. I was red as a lobster.
What do you mean I was all about tanning?
You men all the time. You're like, oh, can't wait to get to the beach so I can get a nice tan. You just say that shit all the time.
Yes.
And you just turn red.
So I'm from Florida. For the first 21 years of my life, I wasn't pale like I am now. I mean, I was not super tan, but I had like a flip-flop tan line. It was great. And then I graduated college.
For our black audience, what's a flip-flop tan line? We don't know what that is.
A flip-flop tan line is when you live in Florida and you wear flip-flops like 11 and a half months out of the year. So you can actually see a line, like a bathing suit tan line, where the flip-flops were.
Right, on your feet.
On your feet.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it.
So I had a nice base tan. I was not super white. I was just, light white.
Light white.
So hold on. So just so I can confirm this, super white is not about your attitude. It's about how your tanning is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, okay. See, we think me and too think super white.
Well, we
think of
educated.
like, yeah, that squared up white dude that's like calling the police, loves to pay his taxes on time. Thinks we think super white like it's like you're not just regular white. You're like you a super corporate, Poindexter white that's just like. You tell us about all your black friends when you meet us. Like that's what we consider super white. We didn't know it was a tanning thing.
Yeah,
so anyway, when I like had to get a real job and could not be, outside by the pool most of my day, I all of a sudden reverted to my natural skin color of pale. So I would miss that. I would miss having like a natural tan, and now I do just get red. Like I've been in Georgia 10 years, 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
In the tundra, it snows here.
Tundra.
It's freezing. We have seasons.
Hold on, so you're saying that your lack of availability to tanning has made it that at one point you didn't turn red is what you're trying to tell me.
Yes. At one point I didn't turn red because I had, 22 years of a nice base coat going.
I think these are all lies, guys. I don't believe any of this.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, out of me and you, who knows more about white skin and color changing of the white skin?
Me.
I'm going to assume Mama Steve knows more than both of us because she has actually gotten hospital visits for tanning. So
me and you, who knows more about nice base coating while living in Florida?
It's the political season, so I'm deflecting the question and saying Mama Steve knows more about
tanning. Take the L, bro. Just take the L. Okay.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Jess. I do have a question. Do you remember the stickers that you would put on? That were like tan line stickers, like hearts and like palm trees, and you'd put them on, and while you tan, then you like peel them off, and you would have a nice little like palm tree on your or like heart on your stomach.
It was what you did when you were 15 because you couldn't get a tattoo, but you wanted a tattoo. Yes, or you draw on it with just like Sharpie.
Yeah, that's true. Because the tanning bed would have like rolls and rolls of these stickers. They would have hearts and dolphins and palm trees.
Oh my God.
Stars. And
I've heard it all.
Put them like on random parts that you would want people to see that you actually had a quote sun tattoo. So I was obsessed with those.
Tunes, what did we walk ourselves into?
I have no idea, bro. But it's getting good, though.
Mama Steve, tell us about your hospital visit. That should be a segment on TLC. I tanned too much and got to the hospital.
No.
That's called, like, Florida.
Yeah.
This was actually I started tanning again briefly when Travis and I got engaged because I wanted a nice tan for the wedding. Because white dress and pale white, I was like, I could just get like a little base tan and, I kind of miss tanning. So they put me in the tanning bed too long because what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to like, you gradually build up how long you're supposed to be in the tanning bed for. Mm-hmm. So this girl obviously did not know what she was doing. She put me in like the ultimate like stand-up bed, and she was supposed to put me in there for like 4 minutes, and she put me in there the full time. So I get out, and you don't notice right away because it has to like work itself up into your skin.
Yeah.
So I, like, all right, thank you. And I go home, and a couple hours later, I'm like hurting, and I'm looking over, and I am like a lobster. Like my arms hurt. I can barely move. My chest is all red. Everything. My whole body is red except for the panty line. And and I feel like I'm raw. Like I'm literally like trying to make my way to the bathroom, and I'm walking like I can't move. I cannot move. I'm in so much pain. And it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm and I called Travis, and he's like, "What's the matter?" And I'm like, "I'm burnt." And he's like, because at that time he lived about 2 hours away from me, and he's like, "Well, why don't you go to the hospital?" And I said, "I guess I'm gonna have to." So I'm literally driving. I had a Mustang at the time. I'm driving like this to the hospital. Like I can't
But hold
move.
on, how do you normally drive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. See, for me in Tunes, that is called like extra white. How you just normally drive? We use it at extra white. Tunes, please explain to us, show us how you drive, Tunes.
How do you drive?
How do you drive, Tunes?
Something like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you know, a little lean. Just a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
How can you see what the road if you got yourself leaned back like, you know?
Oh, I can see over this. I'm 6
See,
feet
if you
tall.
tan more and got darker, you will understand. That's why.
How do you drive, Jason?
Well, because I'm squared up and have kids now, and I hang out with a white wife. I drive like this now. Both hands on. Was it 9 and 3?
Yeah.
But back when I ain't had no kids, I used to drive, sit back like that, whip it with one hand. Only time I got up like that is if I was parallel parking. If I wasn't parallel parking, I just leaned back.
Yeah.
So, you know, it changed a little bit. You get kids and now, you know, live in areas with more white folks, you got to kind of get, you got to get your back, get your structure straight. Yeah. Get your coordination back in there.
Yeah.
You got to adapt a little bit to your surroundings.
Well, actually, you know what's funny is that my wife will get in my car or I'll get in her car and I can tell when she was in her passenger seat because her car be leaned back like an OG, and I'm like, man, who was sitting in this seat? And she goes, oh, that was me. I'm like, what you sitting back this far for? Like,
just trying to be comfortable while I drive, honey.
Hey, you got it more than. Sorry, go ahead. So you're crunched over.
I'm crunched inward because I can't like straighten up because if you've ever been sunburnt before, it's like your whole area is raw. Like moving and stretching hurt really, really bad. So, and it's like your whole body just feels like dry and, and of course my arms are killing me. And that's what I thought was wrong was like, oh my God, I did some sort of damage. I have sun poisoning. I did something. And so I get to the emergency room and I'm literally like shuffling my way into the emergency room because walking long strides, I would die. And of course, the people are looking at me like, of course, I'm a lobster, and they immediately are trying to hold in their laughter. And I'm signing in, and they're like, okay, we're going to have you have a seat over here. And I'm literally just kind of like sitting in the chair, like crunched in because I can't move. And finally, they call me back, and I'm literally like shuffling again, trying to get back there. And I kid you not, the nurses and everyone in there are trying so hard not to laugh at me because I was a sight. I was red. And when I say red, I'm probably talking about as red as my phone charger right here. Like, so they put me in like a room. The doctor comes in and he's like, let me guess. Tan in bed? I'm like, how did you know? He's like, I have ESP. So they bring me like, he's basically like, I can't do anything about it. Here's some ice packs. And they brought like 40 ice packs. And they put ice packs all over my legs and they put them on my arms. And he's like, all right, open up. And I'm like, what? He's like, your shirt. You got to open up your shirt. And they're really like putting ice packs on my bare chest.
Oh, he was doing it for medical reasons. I thought it was some weird kind of ER situation here that I didn't know about. Like a McDreamy McSteamy situation from Grey's Anatomy.
No, because he's trying to like, he's worried that my body is going to go into some sort of shock. So he's like putting like all these ice packs on. And I literally have to lay there with ice packs all over me for about 10 minutes. And then finally he just, gives me like some painkillers. And he's like, what did we learn today? And I said, no more tanning beds. So I go home and I had to call out of work the next day, but I was too embarrassed to tell my boss that the reason I'm calling out of work is because I'm literally burnt from head to toe. So I told him that I had a stomach virus. And I'm literally the whole day, I'm just laying there just in so much agony. I couldn't move. And I was making some Earl Grey tea and rubbing it all over me because apparently if you use Earl Grey tea bags. It helps with the redness. So I'm literally covered in Earl Grey tea.
So are you the first woman to ever teabag herself?
Yes.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure that was clear.
Teabag.
I know it was a cheap joke, Jess. I had to do it. I had to get that
It
off.
worked.
I couldn't work. I couldn't do the show if I didn't do that.
Situation in a way a woman could teabag herself.
It's possible.
I was right on time.
To teabag yourself?
Yeah, unless it's like.
I guess like, you know how men have that fleshlight? Maybe it's like a ball light.
Maybe. Yeah.
Those balls, you know, the balls people will hang from the back of like pickup trucks.
Yes.
They're not as common anymore. I guess you could like teabag yourself with that.
Or get like, don't Lance Armstrong have a fake ball?
Yes.
Maybe you get like a doctor to make 2 prosthetic balls for you. And if some woman's really into that.
But y'all, that's not the best part about this story.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
We got 3 minutes. Go ahead. Best part.
The best part was when you get sunburnt, you start peeling because it's killing your skin. So I would literally sit there in my office and I had my arm and I would pull like the skin off in one piece, and it just looked like I was peeling the skin off my arm, and my coworkers would gag and they'd be like, and I'm like, y'all check this out.
So Tunes, have you ever been sunburnt before?
Can't say that I have, bro. I cannot. Yeah, no. I just can't relate. I've been out in the sun, you know, for a long period of time, and you know what I'm saying, got hot as hell, but I've never gotten to the point where I actually was burnt and peeling skin. But I've seen that happen to, like, you know what I'm saying, my light-skinned brethren, Cool Reese. You know, shout out to Cool Reese.
Shout out to that melanin.
I've seen him get burnt out at the lake a few times.
I've been sunburned one time is when I took a trip to Jamaica. And, you know, that sun hit differently down there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know no better, so I didn't put on, like, real sunblock and all that. My mother told me to, but I put it on my body but didn't put it on my face. So it got my nose and, like, right underneath my eyes. And she's right, like, it ain't a good look. But, like I said, I think most Black people are not going to be familiar with this story at all.
Yeah.
So you peeled and grossed out your coworkers. Anything else happen at this point?
No, when it faded, I looked good, but other than that,
that's how you get the base coat.
The cost of beauty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you been to a tanning bed since then?
No, I haven't. I have not. I refuse. I can't. Not after the incident, because of course the ER bill was like $400.
Oh shit.
So, you know, for ice packs.
Universal healthcare, guys. We got to do it. How does Travis feel about tanning or not tanning? Which complected Mama Steve does he enjoy?
Honestly, he's all like, well, it doesn't matter to me. You look good either way. But of course, men are going to say that. I think he really liked the tan lines. So, you know, but I told him, you know, because he used to tan before he went to the Bahamas.
What?
Family. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait till we do that wrestling review. I'm going to kill him. Go ahead.
Like, he would go to a tanning bed, or he would just be like, hey, I'm going to go, like, outside in my bathing suit to get some sun. No,
he and his dad went to a tanning bed. I want to say it was just a few times before they went to the Bahamas. So he's been in a tanning, not as much as I used to, but he's been in a tanning bed before. So he knows how it works. So with him, it's just like, yeah, you can tan, I don't care, you know, but I told him I wasn't going back because of the incident. So he's just gonna have to be used to.
Oh, I can't wait to do that wrestling review with him tomorrow, because we're going to do it remote. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great, man. I'm going to make sure I bring up all the tanned wrestlers I know and talk to him about it.
You gotta slide it in and be like, so, you think he goes to a tanning bed? Next wrestler comes up, so, do you think he goes to a tanning bed?
Again, I know we're supposed to talk about the debate too, but hell with that. Nobody cares about those two senile old men. I feel like that was a better topic. Halloween candy and debate and tanning. Also, we did top 3 Halloween candy. What is yours real quick before we get off?
Reese's, Snickers.
Yes.